What's up, guys, and welcome back, and welcome to another Tenere 700 video. This thing I've had for a week now, and it has been so much damn fun, but with everything comes a negative. So today I want to give you my top 5 things that I dislike about this motorcycle. And the first one we'll start off with, which is probably something you're looking at right now and can see, which is that gauge cluster there. You can see when I let off the throttle, hopefully you can on the GoPro, that it's just sitting there vibrating like crazy. This is not a vibey motorcycle. Why does this thing flop so much? I mean, they could have easily done a better method on, you know, not having that thing flop around. Like, you could definitely see it in between gear shifts. But that's like super odd, right? That like everything on this motorcycle is pretty damn well made. It's very nice, but yet you've got this gauge cluster that's just freaking flopping around. It's kind of interesting in my opinion. But that would be the first thing I noticed, you know, off the front, riding this thing, going, what the hell? Why is this thing flopping around? That's just how the Tenere 700 gauge cluster is. But for number 2, this is going to be a weird one, and it's not something I've ever noticed before. And in fact, on this motorcycle, my buddy bought all these really cool Acerbees parts, like for frame protection, swing arm protection, and they look really freaking cool. But what's cool on this right hand side one is the fact that it actually sticks out on the side just enough to where I can wrench my heel into, and I could feel like I could control this motorcycle with just my thighs and my feet. And that to me is really important, especially for someone like me. Like, the majority of my riding is super sports, so for me, like, not being able to wrench that heel into a heel guard of some sort to provide that extra, you know, control, it's just another point of control on the motorcycle that you can have. And the left side of this motorcycle, there's nothing there. And so, like, right now when I'm leaning on the side of this bike, my freaking ankle has nothing to grab onto, and I'm actually kicking the damn chain, so my boot is rubbing off of the chain right now, and that sucks. That's kind of weird to me. Like, why isn't there some kind of guard there? Like, even I would take these Acerbees guards, because like, not only do these things provide protection, but they're also very grippy. So, like, to me, these are freaking awesome. I just wish the left-hand side kind of stuck out a little bit and gave you the same kind of feel as the right. I think that would be freaking rad. But that is the second thing I dislike about this motorcycle so far for the week that I've had it and gotten to ride it. So, for the third thing that I dislike about the bike is gonna go back to the same thing that I really didn't like on my CRF 250L. First off, I love the fact that the motorcycle has ABS. That's fantastic. I want ABS on every bike that I ride. It is very important to me. On top of that, the next most important thing is, can I shut off at least the rear ABS? And in this motorcycle, the answer is hell yes, you can. It's freaking awesome. Push and hold this button down here for like 3 seconds. The ABS will start flashing. Let go of the button, and then boom, there is your off-road riding. And sliding this tire around, yep, I had a blast doing it all over the place. To me, off-road, that is very important to be able to transition your tire with your rear brake or your throttle. And this bike has so much torque, you can do it with the throttle with absolute ease. And now with the ABS off, you could do it with the rear brake too. So very cool, love it, very happy to have it on there. But to get to the negative part of it, every time you shut off the motorcycle and turn it back on and go riding again, and you have to go through the process of turning it back off again, which to me is really annoying. Like I said, I love that it's on here. Why can't it remember my previous setting? I would love that. And let's face it, on this motorcycle, I don't ever want the rear ABS on. If I had my choice, I would never have it on. I would just turn it off. I don't want something telling me that my ABS is off. I just want the front ABS on. I want my rear ABS off 24/7. I would prefer that. Even on the streets, I want to slide my tire. It's fun. So that would be number 3. The fourth thing I dislike about this bike is gonna be the gearbox itself. I've ridden the MT-07. I own a Yamaha YZF-R7. Obviously same engines, completely different purpose motorcycles, but the gearboxes on those, they feel great. This motorcycle is taking me like 3 days now to actually be able to enjoy shifting with it. when the first like 2-3 days, it was so clunky, and it took me a long time to be able to like blip her down nicely, or short shift with it, or quick shift with it, clutchless upshift if I can't spit it out. And then even like for me, like I'm a blipper, like while I'm riding I blip, and I'm doing it well now with this bike, but that's like, it took a lot of practice to get there, and I'm like, why is this so hard? I usually get on a motorcycle and I can just bang gears like a champion. This gearbox is clunky. Like I said, I've gotten better with it, but it took some time to get there, and I thought that was kind of odd that, you know, it was so difficult to enjoy the riding experience. I think that they could definitely make this a little bit better, you know, experience with the gearbox. It's not bad, and thank God it has 6 gears, unlike my KLR 650. That is just, well, not enjoyable on the high buzzy, you know, higher paced buzziness, where this thing is just, feels so good cruising around. It's got enough power and balls and that 6th gear to make it nice and smooth at high speeds. So that would be number 4. Number 5, the last and final thing I would say that I noticed in this week that I didn't like about it, which my buddy has actually solved this problem, and I'll show you the, you know, guard that he put on the bottom here, which is pretty badass. I'll link that if you guys are interested. He bought all kinds of dope ass parts, but the exhaust pipe goes right under the bottom of the engine, and to me that's just like super weird. Like, why couldn't you have found a way to manipulate this thing around? I don't even think it goes to the bottom of my R7. I'll have to look. It probably does, but this is an adventure bike. I shouldn't have to go buy bigger and better, you know, protection on the bike because of a poor placement. I think that it could have been routed a little bit better and been a much nicer experience for it, but it is a minor complaint. You know, like I said, this guard isn't crazy expensive, and it works out really well. Well, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know it's the 5 negatives of this motorcycle, and out of the week I've been riding it, the grin is ear to ear the whole freaking week. I just had to share some negatives about this motorcycle because my review was just like, I love it, I love it, I love it. So nothing's perfect, and everything deserves to have some flaws pointed out on it so that people know what they're buying. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next week.